Hello everyone, my name is Seth, and today I'm going to give you my review of Champions. The colder weather is starting to creep in. It's finally basketball season, and I love basketball. I played all throughout elementary, middle, high school. I love basketball. I watch it just about any chance I get when I'm not watching movies or TV. And so I thought this would be a really good opportunity to review a film that I missed earlier this year. But before I go any farther, don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. So Champions is about a G League coach that's like a minor league of professional basketball. It's about a G League coach who gets into trouble and is court-ordered to help a team of players with intellectual disabilities. And he ends up realizing that this team can go further than he even imagined. And this is kind of supposed to be like a heartfelt, kind of lightweight sports comedy. And I think in terms of hitting the kind of lightweight, heartfelt kind of vibe, I think they succeed here, but I think there are quite a few issues with this film. The first thing I want to mention, I really don't think that this was a good script. You have some characters here that you really like, but I just feel like in the grand scheme of the film and in the story, they're not really utilized that great. And I think the story was incredibly predictable. I was able to predict basically the whole movie. Right from the beginning, I just had these thoughts pop up. I'm like, oh, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, then this is going to happen. And I was 100% right all the way through the film. There was not a single thing that came up that surprised me. So yeah, I was able to predict all of the plot points and all of the resolutions. So it doesn't stand out in terms of the story here. I mean, if you were to look at the synopsis of this film and just think to yourself, what are the stereotypes that can be in this type of film? It hits every single one of them. And it doesn't do anything that's just like flat out bad. It just doesn't do anything to stand out, especially against other sports films. The coach in this film, played by Woody Harrelson, he has kind of some anger issues. He has some issues with alcohol, substance abuse, and that's what gets him in trouble. And so this kind of reminded me of The Way Back, starring Ben Affleck. That film was going for a different tone. It wasn't a lighthearted comedy, but I really feel like that film did just about everything better than this film. And I just couldn't help but make those comparisons when I was watching this film. So maybe if you're interested, I will do a review of The Way Back, because that film's really good and does a couple of unexpected things that this one with Champions just didn't do. And another part of this film was that it's a comedy, and I really don't feel like it's funny enough. And that's tough when you're a comedy, and I don't necessarily find a lot of the humor really funny. When a lot of it falls flat, that kind of tends to have the film fall flat. And as a whole, I don't think the dialogue was good in this film. And if Woody Harrelson can't save your dialogue, then unfortunately the script is pretty bad. But I think Woody Harrelson was pretty good in this. I really like him. I think he's a great actor, and he does a good job here. He always adds a lot to every single film he's in, and I feel like he's a big portion of what is positive about this film. All of the actors who played the friends on the team, they did a good job. They just seemed really genuine, and a lot of the laughs come from their performance. They just did a really good job. That's where a lot of the heart comes from, is from these characters on the team and Woody Harrelson's character, them kind of working together and their relationships. Like, I think that that's where a lot of the good comes from. So like I said, even though that I don't really think the script is that good, that part of the film is definitely charming. They want this film to be charming. They want this to be a feel-good kind of story. And you almost can't help but feel that way. So I would say in that sense, they were definitely successful there. I would say, though, I think that the film is too long, especially for what it is. It's a little bit over 2 hours. Honestly, I feel like they could have cut quite a bit out of it. Could have rearranged the story a little bit. Maybe give us some stronger character moments and kind of squeeze this down to like 90 minutes. I feel like that's kind of the sweet spot for this kind of story. But I absolutely admire for what the director was going for. Throughout this whole film, you can absolutely see what he's going for. It was competently shot, and some of the basketball stuff that they had was fun and well shot, but as a whole, I don't think that this movie was super successful. I know so far this review's probably sounded kind of negative, but I don't hate this film at all. Like I said earlier, it doesn't do anything except for some of the dialogue that's like flat out terrible. It's just okay. It's not as good as it could have been or as I was hoping that it would be. It has an inspiring message and it's charming. It just doesn't necessarily deliver all of that effectively. Woody Harrelson is good in this, and the rest of the cast is fun and charming. However, this film as a whole just doesn't stand out, especially against the other sports movies. And I feel like that's kind of made it a little difficult for me to review this because there's not like a ton of super high highs, but there's also not a ton of super low lows. It's just okay. Like I mentioned earlier, it's just right in the middle. It's kind of fine. It's whatever. I feel like this is a good movie to throw on if you're doing chores, like you're doing laundry or you're cooking dinner or something like that. I think it's a good film just to kind of have almost kind of in the background. So that's not necessarily a ringing endorsement of this film, but unfortunately, I can't give it my ringing endorsement. It's just fine. The film has its heart in the right place, but the execution just isn't there, unfortunately. So because of that, I think I can only give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. But that's it. That's my review of Champions. Have you seen this film? Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. I would love to have a conversation with you about it. Do you see it the same way I do? Do you have a different view on things? I would love to talk to you about it. At the time of recording, we are only 1 subscriber away from 100 subscribers. That's super exciting. So if you have not subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It absolutely would make my day. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. You can follow me on social media pretty much anywhere at CinemaSeth, and I'll see you next time.